minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night, nigga, good night, motherfuckers. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another edition of Talking Dirty After Dark, and we have a motherfucking barn burner for you today. I promise you, I'm going to piss somebody off. Somebody's going to be feeling good. Somebody's going to laugh through the whole nine, but I guarantee you, we're going to run through the whole spectrum of everything today. How are y'all doing today? Let me introduce my beautiful guest. Well, let me start off with somebody that has been gone for a long motherfucking time, and we're just going to bring their ass right on back into the fold. Miss Yo-Yo, tell everybody, hey, what's going on? She coming back after a goddamn fool already. Ain't fucking talked on this motherfucker in 2 months and then gonna come back and wait. Fuck it. Mama Yoni, what's going on, baby?
Hey, baby, how are you?
I'm doing good. You ready for the night?
I am.
I got somebody is listening to the show. Please cut off all devices. We do not need to hear the show playing back. Please. But check this out. We got some shit today, man. First of all, hey, what's going on, baby? My number one nemesis on the show.
Really?
The one that I know that's gonna force me to holler at him before the show's over.
You just gonna treat me like a red-headed stepchild?
I was gonna treat you like a dumb blonde, but you wanted to be a redhead, baby. That's on you. What's going on, baby?
I'm fine. Babe, you know what?
No. Somebody is listening to the show. You need to cut the volume down. We cannot hear the replay coming back through the show. Okay, come on. Now, what you say, Miss Ma'am? What you say?
I didn't say nothing. Don't start with me today. That's what I said. Okay.
I can't help it, baby. I can't help it. It's in here. I can't. What you expect me to do? But yeah.
Okay. Hey, Patrice. Welcome.
I want to ask y'all a question right quick. Okay, I think all of us have been in unsuccessful relationships at some point, right?
Sure.
Would you agree? Okay. This is a clip that I want to play for y'all. And y'all might be like, how does this coincide with Talking Dirty After Dark? Okay. I want you to remember, as you watch this clip, that these motherfuckers lived together. They had kids. So they had to have some type of sexual relationship to kick it off. Do you understand what I'm saying? The kids would have never been here if they did not connect. So I'm just going to give you a premise of where I want to go with this clip. And it's about choosing and knowing who the fuck you laying with before you lay with them. Okay? So, and if you got any kids around, I would suggest that you ask them to leave the room. It's not too crazy, but I don't want this to be something that we got the kids just chiming in on this conversation. So here we go.
Testosterone is what makes a man a man. But if you're eating foods that raise your estrogen, you're never.
The evidence is going to show.
This is the first impression jurors received of Ronnie O'Neal, the Riverview man charged with a gruesome rampage that killed his girlfriend, his young daughter, and nearly killed his 8-year-old son. O'Neal, representing himself, shouted at the jury during his opening statement.
The evidence is going to show that law enforcement tampered with evidence.
But the state says evidence is indisputable that the only person responsible for the violent attack on his family is Ronnie O'Neal. And it starts with a 911 call from Kenyatta Barron, O'Neal's girlfriend.
Made that call with fear in her voice.
Kenyatta can be heard pleading for her life. Prosecutors say by then she'd already been shot. And while the recording continued, they say O'Neill can be heard beating her with a shotgun.
The evidence will show that that was just the beginning. That's just the beginning of what happened this evening.
Investigators say after killing Kenyatta, O'Neill brutally murdered his 9-year-old daughter, Ranivia, and tried to stab to death his 8-year-old son, also named Ronnie, before setting him and the house on fire.
And it's just the beginning for this little boy. An odyssey of violence, an odyssey of brutality.
The little boy, however, survived the attack, barely.
But the words that came out of this little boy's mouth were not a cry for help. They were not a help me or a painful cry. They will tell you the first words that came out of this little brave boy's mouth. My daddy killed my mommy.
The evidence is going to show my son did not see me murder his mom. The evidence is going to show he did not see me shoot his mom.
And Ronnie O'Neill has indicated that he plans to argue that he acted in self-defense. Meanwhile, his son, Ronnie IV, is expected to testify in this case. Right now, he's 11 years old at this point. This happened 3 years ago. And he is going to testify in the coming days. Chris?
11 years old and saw things as an 8-year-old that no one should ever see, and will now be on the other side of possibly putting his father away for life or more. A lot to come on this trial here as it just gets underway. Aaron Mesmer live for us in Hillsborough County. Thank you, Aaron.
Get ready to listen to this fool. Listen, this is not over. Just listen.
Is going to show that we are under some of the most vicious, lying, fabricating, fictitious government you ever seen. By the time, who is the mass murderers in Tampa Bay, the state of Florida, you will know why what occurred on March 18, 2018 occurred. And the evidence is going to show that law enforcement tampered with evidence to meet their such high burden of proof.
Yes, I agree with y'all. Read these comments.
Originally, it wasn't enough. So we had to tamper with evidence. Since it was such evident already, but we still had to tamper with evidence. The evidence is going to show my son did not see me murder his mom. The evidence is going to show he did not see me shoot his mom. The evidence is going to show my son said many things that are not true. 911 call. But all of a sudden, it ends up after I called Kenyatta, after Kenyatta Barron's call was made. Now I'm calling 911. But originally, I called 911 without even knowing she called 911 during her call. But the evidence is going to show that your representatives in law enforcement, local law enforcement, wanted to make it seem like I'm some kind of menace to society. And I ran after killing Kenyatta Barron, knowing that authority was on the way to kill my own children. I wonder why I would do something like that for no reason. And I'm standing here competent as can be, representing myself today.
Okay, we're gonna start to talk about this. Mama, you'll never bring you in. I had muted you because there was some. This is my question. I understand everybody makes mistakes. With who we date, we choose the wrong person. We make those mistakes. This is understood. My question is this, though. Where are we making the mistake where we're choosing that? Because I understand on one side, I read a lot of comments. We talked about mental health and the mental health issue. But just hypothetically speaking, what do we go with it outside of? What do we look at the person that chose that dude? You know, where are our standards of where we're going with who we? You know what I'm saying? How does someone pick somebody like that? Because I believe, this is my own personal belief, that type of crazy just didn't happen overnight. You feel what I'm saying? That's a mental health issue that you had to see that occurring over time. So is it that you are so in love or infatuated with someone that you can get into a situation with a male or a female where they be in such a mind space that it be harmful to you? How do you make that decision? Or what do you start to think? What should we be looking for as far as what we're looking for in a relationship to avoid that? That's my question.
Okay.
To avoid getting to that point, what do we need to be looking for? What signs do we need to be looking for before we even lay down and have kids with the person? You feel what I'm saying? Because they had 2 kids. So it wasn't like, she slept with him once and had a little baby. She had 2 kids with this man. He killed one. He killed one and killed the mother and tried to kill the other.
Yes.
Where do we start to evaluate what we're looking for as far as who we lay with and not get results like that?
Okay. So there's a couple of things here. Unfortunately, we can't hear her side of this story. We will never be able to hear it. That's the unfortunate thing.
True.
And the reason I bring that up is because there's a couple of different possibilities. Depending on the person, you can hide certain behaviors for a certain amount of time. They may not stay hidden, but you can hide things for a certain amount of time.
Okay.
So if you go back to when they first met, right, whatever that story was, however they hooked up, however they came into each other's lives, it could have been that the red flag was not immediate. That's a possibility. And again, we have to go off of possibilities because she's not here.
Right.
I will say this, though. And this is something that I notice, that I personally pay attention to. If you are with somebody, because when we talk about mental illness, which clearly this young man is disturbed, a lot of times we go undiagnosed, and a lot of times our people self-medicate. If you are constantly in a state of high or inebriation because you're self-medicating, sometimes it's also hard to get a clear pinpoint on that person. It's hard to get a clear view of who they really are if they're constantly in an altered state. Again, I don't know this young man. I don't know, what his behavior was like. But again, that's another possibility. I say all that to say she may not have had a clear picture of who he was initially. The other part of it is this, and we've talked about this before on this show. Unfortunately, what we see as red flags, we ignore, or we think they're not that serious, or we think that somehow they're going to change, or we think that, if we just get them in a certain position that, everything will be okay. But we get so involved, and then we get other lives involved, i.e. the babies. And now we can't untangle ourselves from this person. I don't know if she had broken up with him already and he was disgruntled. Did she try to separate from him? We don't know any of that. But if you have a person that is this mentally unstable, at this point it's too late, unfortunately. Of course you didn't expect for that to happen. Of course you don't expect that he would try to kill that entire family, like his entire family. You never expect that. Did she see any red flags? I don't know. I'm like, my heart is just like aching. It's aching.
See, like, this is the thing, and I may be wrong, but as crazy as that motherfucker was acting, you done seen that shit before.
I'm not saying
she
had.
No, listen, let me finish. Because, like, even if he was on medication, if he got off that medication, you saw that switch. You feel what I'm saying? Like, he was so far gone. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a little bit crazy. That nigga was far fucking fetched. Like, when you watch him trying to give the explanation of what the fuck was going on.
Of course, we see him now. I'm talking about when they first met.
No, I'm just talking about over time. I'm just talking about over time, because guess what? Let's say, for instance, you meet somebody and then you find out they got some crazy in them. Now, you have a decision to make to either stay there or leave. Not to be two kids down with them.
And keep in mind, I'm not
disrespecting. I don't want this to come off like I'm disrespecting her.
No,
I'm just talking about self-reflection, because there could be somebody right now listening to this show dealing with some crazy shit at home. And what I want to get across to them is, guess what? Yeah, you got a crazy motherfucker, but you got to make a decision for your life and your kids to get the fuck up out of there, because you don't want to be that woman, and you don't want to be this clip.
Of course.
Come on.
I just wanted to clarify. I'm not talking about actual medication that was prescribed by a doctor. I'm talking about self-medicating, constantly being high, constantly being drunk. You know what I'm saying? Like, that can skew behavior. I get as well. That's all I wanted to say. For me, it's all these what ifs for this particular scenario. That's just me.
Okay, and this is my question, and just rebuttal to that. I'm from the streets, right? I know people that drank and smoked and got a little. You could identify him. You feel what I'm saying? You'd be like, this nigga can't drink. He can't handle himself around certain shit. Even as young guys, we be knowing who not to call up when we going over some girls' crib, because we know this nigga, he turned up too much. He don't know how to handle himself, and we going over here to chill. So we sort of know certain things, but we let shit bypass until it goes to. Come on, yo, come on, talk to me. Been a while.
Okay, so
Mrs. Crush,
I understand where you're coming from, Shantae. Like, you meet this person, he's presenting a certain way, you may be in your right state of mind and he appears to be in his, and then maybe you develop a closeness or a bond, and you feel like, well, hey, when he's around me, he doesn't behave this way. My thing is this: usually, when you get to that point where this dude was at, somebody around him is gonna tell you that he's not okay.
Good point.
But I'm gonna go from a even deeper perspective. At what point do you see this person as a third party looking into this relationship? And even though they got kids, and even though they are living together and doing this family thing together, you be like, hey, dude is not okay. What are
Yeah.
we gonna do? You know what I'm saying? For me, I always have to teeter totter on telling somebody that somebody is not cool for them to be with, and also allowing somebody to be an adult and have control over their lives.
Sure.
I got people that are really close to me, and they okay with dealing with Mr. Nutty. I'm not. Like, my nerves ain't set to that dial. My patience is very limited. My time is limited. So as soon as I see anything, like you cough the wrong way. I don't even like mouth noises. I don't even want to deal with a dude that smack when he chew. So my patience is not there. So as soon as you do something off the wall, like I'm gonna have the urge to slap the shit out of you. Like, I don't have that mental balance where I can deal with that level of bullshit. His hair alone would have signaled to me that this motherfucker is not okay.
I mean,
Somebody
I believe
deliberately did that
damn.
shit. No, go back to that clip. That shit is parted. That's the deliberate motherfucking hairstyle. That would have been enough for me to be like, nah, son. Like, I can't. But I also know women who stay in long-term relationships or have gotten married to people that have that switch where sometimes, like, let's say 40% of their day, they're not doing that. They ain't acting like that. They not yelling. They not raising their voice. They chill mode. And all of a sudden, it's like, get your hands on my fucking nigga. Like, that shit. And they be cool. They be cool. And then all of a sudden, they ain't cool. And then the first time they do it, you're like, maybe he going through something. Maybe and people in Florida, I don't like to say bad things about areas. No. But I've been to Florida, and the people that are like natural residents there, 80% of them motherfuckers are not okay. Like, really, truly, they need to speak to the Lord. Like, I don't know. My come to a lot moment would be this dude telling me that it was a rational idea to do his hair like that and still try to be up on me. I wouldn't have had no kids with him. I feel bad for this lady because she probably saw somebody who she thought that if she poured love into, that she would nurture and get into, and she would develop him, and then she just stuck around and ended up having kids with him, and now her little one is dead. But the way I also think too, watching this clip, I think that he is playing crazy because he got an audience and a camera. I think that he's vile and evil because he had enough forethought to shoot somebody and then beat them with the gun. Like, that's some cartoon shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think he's playing crazy because he know we all kind of watching, so we can say or sway, hey, this dude is not okay. He need to be on medication. He may not actually be like that. Ain't no way that you would present that what we saw on camera as a fuckable person. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I don't know. Come on, Mama Yoni, talk to me.
Man, that was hard.
Very.
But in response to your question about what we look for and how we determine who we have children with, 30 years ago, 40 years ago was a different way that we did that. Now, I think I know that the boy now is 11, This was 3 years ago, so he was 8 then. So I'm not sure how young the other baby was. These girls and guys are not making the type of bodies in their lives like we did, or like I did. In response to how you not see crazy, I didn't see crazy either. Because when I met Crazy, Crazy was working a job, had a car, was offering to pay bills, take care of kids. It wasn't his kids, loving me to death. Then all of a sudden, I am screwing the mailman, I'm screwing the Coca-Cola truck driver, the Greyhound bus. Everybody was an issue. But I didn't see Crazy at first. And nobody saw Crazy at first because everybody loved him. Everybody. I loved him to death. But the motherfucker was crazy. Just crazy. We can't always see it. I suffer from mental illness. I have bipolar depression, but you wouldn't know it unless I told it to you. I don't self-medicate. We as African American, we as people of color, we do not take our mental health seriously because men think it's weak to go talk to somebody about their problems. They should be able to deal with it because they're a man. That's their first mistake. But just because you got nuts, don't make you a man. Just because you slinging dick, don't mean you can handle problems. If you don't have the mental capacity to do that, you can't do that. You had a very good point, Shantae, about self-medicating. First of all, we don't go to therapy like we need to go to therapy. We ain't, and if we do go, we're not telling everything. Because what did Mama say?
There you go.
Whatever happened
There
in this
you
house,
go. Say that again.
Whatever happened in this, stay in this house. Okay, so even if you go to therapy, you ain't gonna tell it all. So you're not really gonna get the help that you need. You feel like 420 is a good way to go. So you always high, you always inebriated. You're never in a state where you can actually get the help that you need or be of help to anyone else because of your altered state. So you have to understand that until we get better about taking care of ourselves, we can't. My daughters know, at least I told them, crazy, but that doesn't mean that crazy still don't come into your life.
Absolutely.
You don't know crazy coming until it's there. Until you see, a chair flying through the air and shit. You don't know.
Absolutely. Listen, Vernita Wicks says it depends on where her head was at the time. Maybe she was lacking something emotional or physical, and he provided it. Sometimes we take those signs, being possessive, jealousy, clingy, etc., as being cute until it gets out of hand. Which is an extremely good point. An extremely good point. Big No, what's up, brother? He says, I disagree, Mama. Not that we don't want to talk. We have been taught and conditioned men don't show emotion. And that's another extremely good point, especially in this scenario. And I wanted to throw something else in there, Mama Yoni. And this is a real story because I actually just watched this documentary. It was a document. It was a movie, but it was based off a story about a serial killer somewhere in Colorado, right? Real story. Thing about it was this man taught at the local high school. He was married with kids. He was active in his community. Everybody loved him in this town. And he was turning around whenever they were killing him, killing young girls. Now, I said that to say, like you said, crazy don't always show up and make yourself obvious.
Yep.
Not always. A lot of times it does, but not always. And like one of our viewers said, we don't know what kind of headspace she was in at the time, which still ultimately is a mental health issue on both sides. But at the end of the day, we got a dead mama and a dead baby.
Yeah, and what Bernita said, it does kind of make sense about where her head was at the time. But that goes back to what I was saying. If we're not giving our children what they need to survive, we're doing a disservice. And Big No, I understand you disagree, and I you're correct with what you said. It's not that you don't want to talk. That's how you've been conditioned because you're a man. Men don't do that. And I wish Jerome was here.
I know.
Tonight, or Dr. John.
Dr. John, absolutely.
Sure that they allowed their sons to have whatever feelings that they want to have. I get accused a lot of times. My son is very emotional. He's really high strung. He gets very emotional when you're not understanding his point or when he's hurt emotionally. He will talk it all out. But a lot of men don't do that.
Yes.
With him having as many sisters as he did, it was a different way for them. So he can always come and talk to us, talk to anybody, whoever's going to listen, whoever can help him about those issues. But like Big Note said, it's very true. He's in that same age range as I am. So therapy wasn't thought about. It wasn't a concern. You're a man. You don't do that. If you are you hurt, you better not cry. You better not cry. That's what they get. They don't get to be compassionate feeling men. And then we wonder what happens to the next generation if they don't have a compassionate feeling man in their lives to even give them that, to show them how to do that. What are we giving the next generation? That next generation is just what they are. This Wicks hairstyle thing. They don't care. There's no one for them to talk to, no one for them to vent to do any of that up. And if they were raised in whatever stays in this house stays in this house, or you don't talk, or men don't show emotions, we're losing. We're gonna lose the whole battle. It's not about we're gonna lose it all.
They hold stuff in. They bottle it in.
Check it out, y'all. I want to get ready to move on to our next topic because we got a lot of topics tonight. This next one, it's gonna flip it just a little bit. Now, the first one was a man sort of going crazy, right? You know, and losing his wig, right? And I want to flip this shit now. We're gonna look at a lady that lost her motherfucking mind, in my opinion. But I'm gonna let y'all tell me what y'all think about the clip afterwards. Here we go.
Going no fucking where, bitch. Today's the day to get embarrassed. I got one of my bitches with me. Give your nigga your mind, your heart, and your body, and a fucking baby. He can't even keep it the fuck real. He can't keep it real. This bitch on the phone trying to cop, please, because he finally got his motherfucking ass whooped, you bitch ass. And I fucking spit on that bitch, so it's really over. It's really over because I fucking spit on him. What he deserved. Come fucking fight me. Anybody else? Come get me, bitch. Going off. Guy here, he was trashing the room. That's why I fucked your ass up, bitch. Nigga been fucking with this bitch since I was pregnant. 3 fucking years later. 30 years old. Bitch can't get her own nigga. Can't get your own nigga. He can bring you around my son if he want to. I'ma trash the shit out of you and your fucking sisters. And his mom gave me her number. That's how it started. Yup. Now everybody mad. Like the fuck I said, he the same nigga that likes to bend over with his tongue in his ass. Yup. That's what he like. Little dick ass bitch. I made my son by my motherfucking self. He look like me. Fuck. Stop fucking asking me to delete the shit. Cause I'm not. Fuck. He's gonna get embarrassed. I don't give a fuck. Come get me. I got bail money. Yup. I did that shit. Yup. Yup. Who mad? Ooh. Called the cops on me. Taking pictures of his ruined ass shit. Fuck this. His mom gave me her number and was the same one saying I would have shot his ass. Egging this shit on. Now nobody want no motherfucking parts. Oh, okay. Was in Miami with her last year for her birthday. But texting me saying he still want to be a fucking family. Oh, this bitch okay with it? In this nigga phone, right after I pushed my son out. This bitch was cool with it. Same motherfuckers who questioned my son's DNA. Cause they ain't think it was his fucking son. Now y'all really gonna feel me. I gotta go and shit cause he pressing charges on me like the bitch he is. Taking pictures and shit.
Alright. I got a couple things I want to say about this one here.
Crush, stop with them faces. I'm done with you.
Listen. Now this goes back to what we just got through talking about on the other side. Just didn't nobody get fucked up to that degree and get killed, okay? Somebody got cheated on. Somebody got in their feelings. And they decided to be destructive as opposed to just getting the fuck up and leaving that piece of shit where he was. Now, I know that we're gonna have ladies on here be like, you know what I mean, but he did this and he dirty him up. But at the end of the fucking day, if you made if you guess what, even if it wasn't a mistake, if you decided to do something and cheat or whatever, does that give a nigga a right to come burn your house down, come set your car on fire, destroy your shit? Just because you and your feelings, and what cracked me up, wait a minute, I'm gonna let y'all go. That's what we on the show. Come on, y'all put your hands down. What cracked me up about what she said was she went through a lineage talking about how long he had been cheating on her. Listen to what I'm saying. She going through how long he had been cheating on her, and then she had the nerve to say, bitch, get your own nigga. I'm thinking the same thing to you, bitch. Get your own nigga, because he fucking on both of y'all motherfuckers. So how you gonna take the role of bitch, get your own nigga? You need to get your own nigga. You need to get a nigga that's gonna be faithful to you. You need to you get what I'm saying? He obviously ain't yours. Now, if y'all going through the motions and y'all just, going through this what I said. If y'all going through the motions and just doing ignorant shit, then both of y'all deserve to get what the fuck you get. Because on one side, he fucking around, he keep playing with fire, he deserved to get burned. On the other end, she's playing with fire because she knows that he ain't shit. And she keep fucking with him. Come on, yo-yo. I see your face. I'm gonna go yo-yo, then I'm gonna go Mama Yoni, and then I'm keep forgetting Crush, Mama Yoni, and then we're gonna go Shantae. Come on, talk to me.
I've been cheated on. My reaction was not as strong as hers because I'm fat and I have limited stores of energy. And I'm vain, so I can't be in jail trying to adjust my ponytail or my baby hair at county jail because I don't fuck with bologna sandwiches and they don't care about my feelings, and I'm not gonna be drinking water out the water fountain toilet in the city jail. So that's why I've never busted a bitch in the face. But I will tell you this: when my last husband cheated on me and I confronted his then girlfriend, I didn't destroy things, but I beat her mama's ass, because she birthed the afterbirth ass bitch that had fucking my husband. Now
we're moving on. Now we're moving on. We're gonna leave that shit right there. We're not no. Don't make me mute your ass. Come on, Mama Yoni. Come on, Mama Yoni. No, that nigga just. I was with her until she came to the end. And she lost me completely. I said, fuck that. Now I'm ready to go at her ass. But I'm the only nigga on the show tonight, and I don't want this to turn into a arguing with the female shit. Come on, Mama Yoni.
And I'm not gonna argue with you. I think that is utterly fucking ridiculous.
Thank you.
So, on so many levels, don't get it twisted. Please don't get it twisted. I don't play that type of shit. Number one. Number two, I'm not finna be with your ass for 3 years while you cheat on me consistently, constantly with the same bitch, and then you tell me, get your own man. Bitch, you need a man because that one ain't yours. Not at all. So confused. So I don't agree with what she did. I have on occasion, packed a nigga shit and set it on the porch and changed the locks. I didn't burn up his shit. I didn't fight with him. I didn't do any of those things. But I will pack your shit and put it out of my shit quickly.
I don't mind that shit. I don't mind. Shit, get the fuck out. I'm the same way. If I ain't rocking with you, get the fuck out. Just go.
Just bye.
We ain't gotta go through this shit. Get the fuck out. Peace, deuces. Go ahead. Let somebody else go through that shit. I ain't got time to go through that shit. Because guess what? The same way this is the funny thing. We sitting up here talking about niggas snapping off. I know personally, if a nigga pushed my buttons in the wrong fucking way, I would have to control myself. I would have to be in full control of myself. Like, that's why I walk away from fucking bad situations, because I don't want to be that nigga you know, like it's I think you're a fool if you live this life and don't look at yourself and don't know yourself. You are a fucking idiot. You are a goddamn idiot. Because
I
if you
know
go through
me.
this life and you experience heartaches and you experience bad situations, at some point you should learn about you, about what you need, about what you want, not about what the other person is. You got to fucking figure out what works for you.
That pimp hand.
And if you sitting out there, man, fuck a pimp hand, you gonna get, man. Come on, Shantae, talk to me, man. Because I'm trying to tell you, man, like I don't play that shit. Because
Okay.
if we belong to each other, we belong to each other. And when I say that, I wouldn't get the fuck up in the morning and smack the fuck out myself. So think about what I'm saying. We belong to each other. We are one. So what sense does it make for me to get up and hit myself?
I will leave you for for sounds coming from your feet and flicking your toes. We wouldn't be no 3 years on no bullshit like that. We not finna be 3 years of you playing games with me and out here got me looking stupid. Like I'm a cute, thick ass bitch. I'm not finna do that. Do whatever it is that you do, but do that shit without me. Cause I don't want no dick that drive me to the pinnacle of motherfucking war. I don't want no dick that'll make me push the nuclear button on some shit or have mushrooms. I know that my own inner self is a violent, sadistic person. So I tell people up front, my temperament is not set up for that shit. If you got a bitch, be with that bitch. Do not be with me. And I'm a poly person, so I don't have that jealousy thing. But you cannot, after I'm giving birth to your child, be in Miami with a bitch for her birthday.
Going back to
them kids. You're supposed to be there. Because
going back to them kids.
Patrice made a really good point, though. Patrice made a really good point. She said it got addictive. Who could hurt each other the best? We get addicted to toxic behavior. Yep. We get addicted to it. And I'm gonna tell you something else. I was married for 8 years. I was with my then husband for 12. He cheated. He had a whole baby with this chick. I did not burn one stitch. I did not bust. I did not set him on fire. I put him out and I divorced him, but I didn't do that. And the reason I didn't do that, as hurt and as angry as I was, is because you got a kid you need to take care of. I can't have you in the hospital. I can't have you in jail. I need your ass at work every day to pay for your kid. I don't have time for that because now I got to figure out how the rest of my life is going to look without you in it. That's what it means to be a grown-ass woman. I'm going to let your ass slide to the side.
Talk that shit.
And now I got to figure out what it takes for me to be a mom and figure out this shit on my own after we've been together so long. And the other part is this. I can understand girlfriend being angry for whatever reason she felt like she needed to stay with this dude. That's cool. But if he calls the police on you for destruction of property and you go to jail, boo, you got
pause. Did you hear the one part? She was like, and this nigga, they called. But first, she was in the video talking about some call the police, nigga. And then one little small clip, she was like, he called the police on the bitch ass nigga.
He is not worth you catching the shit. You got a kid at home. See, now I'm about to call you selfish. Because at the end of the day, when you bring babies into it, they are the priority. I don't give a shit how mad you are. They are the priority. You don't have time to be in court. You don't have time to be paying lawyer fees. You don't have time for none of that over this sorry ass dude when you already knew what he was about. So get your shit together and keep it moving. And that's the thing. We get addicted to the anger. We get addicted to the hurt. We get addicted to, I get to tell everybody how bad I've been treated and woe is me. And we get addicted to our story. And then you don't want to get out of it.
Hey, Shantae, you know what? I don't understand why she is not embarrassed enough not to tell that she was with this broke ass dude. Because you saw the shit she broke, it was worthless shit. She not busting up a Benz, you busting up a fucking Charger.
He looked like he was 12.
And he looked musty. So why would you tell somebody that that's the dude you was fucking and he was fucking around on you?
Okay.
Like I would never do that.
But I got a big question though. I want
to explain that to her because it's funny that she said that. When Facebook first came out, right? I was probably in my Facebook is probably about 15 years old, 10, 15 years old. So yeah, it is. It's been out for a while. So when it first came out and they started to allow like video shit, you know, and recording and shit, I kick it and shit and get drunk and record myself venting, going the fuck off, right? And then I would sit back. Guess what? It took me to look at myself and say, yo, you look like a motherfucking fool. You blowing it. It took self-reflection. It didn't take nobody to tell me that shit. Did not one friend in my life, and this is where I'm at with my own personal life. It does not take one person to call me and tell me I'm wrong when I see the wrong in me. Some people out here have to be told about the wrong that they do. And then when they're told about the wrong that they do, they still don't see it.
Her friends was telling her on the live that she was doing, hey, delete this shit. You finna go to jail. And she was like, fuck it, I don't care.
Thank you.
You doing too much.
So you shouldn't have cared when that motherfucker called the police.
Did anybody notice what she said about his mama?
Yes.
His mama gave her the bitch's number. His mama said, if it would have been me, I'd have shot his ass.
So she's trying to keep it going too.
No, it's a two-part thing with that, Shantae. I think that because if the mom is feeling that strong about her son doing that shit, the son may be conditioned to follow behaviors of the people that did that shit to his mom. Right?
I agree with that. I agree with that, but this is where I disagree with that statement. We are all parents, right?
I am.
Would you tell anybody to fuck up your kid? Like, see, this is what it relates to me. And if you listening to this and this is your mentality, I apologize, but I don't. That's a hood ghetto ass mentality. That's a fuck that. That's an angry black woman in the hood ghetto ass mentality. Fuck that. She's probably the mama telling the son, you ain't shit. You remind me of your dad.
Girl, you talking about some of these mamas ratchet. A lot of these.
But you feel what I'm saying? She's probably one of those, and I don't know. But she is more than likely, if she could tell another person, you know what, I'd fuck around and fuck him up and do this to your own son. Because I know your mama has never been the most loving motherfucker towards me. But if it came down to somebody else that I was dating, talking about what they was going to do to me, my mama would flip the script immediately and be like, bitch, I'm going to fuck you up. I don't know who the fuck.
Listen, my mama sitting right there.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Big note, because I want to get it before it disappears. He said, fuck that. Motherfuckers need to quit making excuses for these wake ass niggas too. Motherfuckers out here playing reindeer games with motherfuckers feeling that when shit like this happens, it's always they need to ignore their feelings. In other words, he said, old boy knew the games he started messing with girls. So if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. That's what Big No said. I wanted to get that in because it was kind of long.
And I agree with that. Both of them gonna do the time. He doing the time with his fucked up car, and she gonna do the time when the police catch her ass. So both of them gonna do the time. So at the end of the day,
and where does that leave the baby? Where does that leave the baby?
They don't. Neither one of them care about the baby.
But listen,
I want you to be honest and sincere about yourself with that. Most of these people that said this generation see children as accessories and not as little people that we're raising. They did not once mention this motherfucking baby, except for when she said she made it by herself and that it looked like her. I got 7 kids. None of them motherfuckers look like me, and I damn sure made them with someone. Even if we're not together, we still co-parent. So that part. But my mama right here, and I could do all the dirt. Do you understand? I could be a CIA fucking spy and crawl from ceilings and be a fucking Bond girl, and my mama wouldn't say shit to no dude about what the fuck I'm. Hey, you seen Lonnie? You seen Lonnie? I ain't seen her.
I don't know where she is.
I could be sitting right there next to her, blowing this dude like AC. My mama would say shit to him.
I ain't Crush.
My mama ain't gonna say shit. She better not say shit. I don't well do that. No, you know I'm not.
You know we ain't gonna do that.
We don't do that. That's not my business. If my sister, boyfriend, husband, love bucket, whatever, if any of them dudes have my number and call me and ask where my sister is, before you call, remember my answer from now. I don't know where she is. I ain't seen her.
Come on, mommy.
Did you check? Did you check Facebook? Do you know where her locator? I don't know where she at. Because it's not my motherfucking business.
Come on, mommy.
She said she agree with you. We gotta mark this date on the calendar.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you. Like, listen, I'm trying to tell you.
Really
Go, come on,
Mom. It's really, really difficult for me to hear that his mama said that. That bothers me.
Yeah.
I got 10 kids, 56 grandkids, and some great grandkids. I wish a bitch would.
Wait. Run them numbers again, mama. Run them numbers again.
10 kids, 56 grandkids, and the 7th great grandchild is coming. The crown prince is coming. Be aware that the crown prince is on the way. I need you to understand something. I wish a motherfucker would call me and say, your daughter did this. Did she? They don't even sound like her. Not Crush. Not none of mine. I'm gonna fuck your son up, bitch. I wish you would even think about.
If you touch my brother, I'll beat your ass. I swear to God. Don't ask me nothing about my brother.
I can't. If you don't,
and I know that sound ghetto and ratchet, and I know that y'all not really used to me getting like that, but I don't do that about my kinfolk.
But that's family.
I don't do that.
Family.
That's my family. My brother. Now I will pull my brother to the side if I see him doing some ratchet shit. But my brother is not a cheater. My brother is not a cheater. My brother is like chronically monogamous. So if you accuse my brother of cheating, I'm gonna be like, "Are you cheating on him?" Because bitch, you is really tripping. But that's me knowing that my brother is a monogamous person.
There you go.
So I'm not opposed to checking a person about their behaviors. If my sister do something that's like out of control, out of pocket, and she married or she got a dude, I'm gonna pull her to the side like, hey, this ain't cool. This ain't how we was raised. Don't do this shit. You need what you got going through something or what's going on with you where this is some shit that you would do or a behavior that you're developing. But your dude can never come to me and tell me that he wants to check you or he wants me to check you because he's not my motherfucking daddy. He's not your motherfucking daddy. And he don't need to include me in y'all grown folks shit. But if you ever come to my mother, my sister, my brother, my daughter, my son, you can't even ask my baby daddies about shit about me because neither one of them motherfuckers will confirm or deny anything because I'm a loyal ass bitch. And it's forever. And they are never going to say something against me because I don't do anything in my overall character to be questioned in the first place.
But guess what that speaks to, Crush? Guess what that speaks to? Which is actually the moral of the story for both of these clips that we just watched.
Mm-hmm.
Who you choose to have in your space outside of your family, right? You don't pick your family, but who you choose to have in your space. Those are decisions that are made as we get older and we're supposed to develop these life skills, which I know a lot of us don't. The people you have in your space, you trust that they got your back and they're going to support you no matter what. Right. Unfortunately, our younger people don't have that discernment. They don't have it. They don't have those cues to say, I can't go the long road with this person. I can't. They're not making good, healthy decisions about the people in their circle. You know, whatever he was like before she had that baby, that wasn't nothing new. You know, she all in her feelings. But boo, in this particular case, you chose him, baby,
Hey,
and you kept choosing him.
I just got one question to ask throughout all these clips that I'm playing tonight. Because y'all might be trying to relate. How does this go to Talking Dirty After Dark? Everybody that I'm playing a clip from has been in the bed and fucked, and either just fucked or had not one kid, but multiple kids with the person that we're watching. Are we all in agreement with that?
I don't know.
No,
what you mean? You mean the clips that you just played?
The clip, from the
I have
very
never
first...
given pussy to anybody that behaved like that.
No, not you.
Okay.
I was like, wait a minute.
I'm talking about listen to what I'm saying. The two clips that I've played so far have dealt with family that had kids. But this is what the kids had to go through. One family had to deal with 2 deaths and a kid that got stabbed. And another one is we're sitting up here talking about, now this kid had to come home and see this shit.
Of course.
All this shit thrown outside the crib. Like, think about it. When you a kid and your parents have a fucking argument and it goes outside of the household, do you think about how that affects your kid? Do you think about other kids that might be walking down the street be like, damn, his mama threw shit out the fucking window. This motherfucker. Do you think about how that psychologically can affect your kid?
They don't. That's the problem. They don't.
But you put your mouth on there. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead to the next clip. I was about to say something. Am I doing okay tonight, ladies? Am I doing okay?
Great?
You're doing very well, Rush. Good job.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ladies. Here we go. Now this one's gonna fuck you up. This one fucked me up. Oh my God, it's a short one, but it's good.
Bro, I was holding this nigga down. One thing about me, I'm not a cheater. I was holding this nigga down. I went to go buy me a toy from jail. Me and Tyrone was experiencing a lot. So he like, I'm like, I got some toys. Before I even say something, he's like, what you want to do to me with them? What you want to do to me with them? Tyrone, what you mean telling people the truth? I was eating your ass, you was eating my ass, we was eating each other's ass. Bro, I'm my kids, bro, I'm my mama, Tyrone, I fingered you. Tyrone, I put my finger in your ass, bro, and it went straight in there, bro. I swear to God, I will argue, folks. I'm my daughter that's in there eating cereal, folks. I'm my daughter. Tyrone.
Now, I'm going to ask this question again. It's 2 questions I got. Number 1.
Rush, you give me a headache.
This is what I'm about to say. Number 1. What in the fuck would make you go on live and put your business out there like that? And then 2, this is the killer part. She talked about this nigga, like what she did, but you did it. You was with that nigga when you was doing it. You didn't have no problem when you was doing that shit. But now you want to throw that shit all up under the fucking air like it's some crazy shit. Like, and then after that, you mention your fucking kid. You mention your kid in the midst of all of this bullshit. So that leads me to believe that you the type of motherfucker that your kid sees all of this ignorant shit that you pushing out here into the street. Now, I just want to know. I just want to start here. Hey, come on, y'all. I need y'all to focus here. I need y'all to focus, man, for real. We're having a good show. Let's stay focused. Now, Shantae, talk to me. In relation to what we just watched, in relation to what I just said.
You give me a headache. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. My head is hurting right now. We have gotten I'm gonna try to say this the right way. We have gotten so addicted to the attention that it's like the crazier you sound, the more attention you get. You know what I'm saying? So whatever it takes, whether you sacrificing your dignity, your self-respect, you putting all your business out there in the street, you trying to have your own, I don't know, reality show like these crazy people on TV been doing.
Please mute your phone. Please mute your line. If you got a train, if it's a train going past you, please mute because it's coming through crazy. Come on.
It's like we've gotten addicted to getting all the attention, but then you want to play like you got room to be offended. You put all your stuff, all of it out there. And keep in mind, if you don't know by now, once you put it out on the internet, it's for life. It's forever.
It's out there.
It's out there. So you putting all your stuff, all of it. There is nothing sacred. There is nothing private. It's called a private life for a reason. But you done put it all out there. And so when people check you on it or get in your case about it, what you offended about, boo? What you offended about? Whatever you did with old boy, you didn't have no problem with it at the time. So what you offended for now? What? Because he ain't with you no more? Oh, but yeah, about the kids. Don't talk to me about your baby because you didn't have no regard. You were so busy in your own emotional stuff and your own mental confusion. You didn't have no regard for them babies while y'all was doing what y'all was doing and you was dealing with his drama and all this stuff. So don't talk about the babies now. And I'm gonna keep it real, and I might offend some people. Let's be real about the shit. Half of the people out here didn't want them kids in the first place, but you won't do what you need to do not to have the kids. So now you got the kids and you don't know what to do with them, and then you want to have some drama around that. But when somebody getting your butt, all of a sudden it's about the kids. It wasn't never about the kids, boo. It wasn't never about the kids. So go sit your ass down somewhere and deal with your shit.
Shantae, put it on a t-shirt. That right there. Put it on a t-shirt.
I almost bust out my keyboard. I fuck around and start playing them church chords on your ass real quick. You know me, Shantae.
Don't play the chords because I'm about to shout up in here. Let me tell you.
Come on, mama.
That baby, whatever baby she had, wasn't no concern at all, period. At all. None. You didn't put all that you done done out there. You may as well just gonna be a whole night because that's all you ever gonna be remembered for. Sticking your finger up his ass, eating his ass, all this shit. That's what you said you did? Okay. Your inbox is gonna be full forever. You gotta shut your shit down. And that shit's still gonna be up there because it's gonna be one motherfucker that thought it was so hilarious.
Nigga, we running it on the show right now. We running it on the show right now. So guess what? If a nigga watches our show 7 months from now,
let me tell you, they will download that shit. Did you see that?
You know they will.
You didn't it was not a priority for you. You didn't give a shit. You did what the fuck you did. You being nasty, but y'all motherfuckers will not put a condom on your raggedy ass dick. Put a condom on it. Fuck a bareback.
How does that much licking happen and pregnancy follows? Like, if anybody is got their head up my ass, like, how do you have the strength to fuck after that? Like, what is going on? What? I can't be the only one.
I'm with you though. Because if you're doing all of that,
because if my cheeks are touching your cheeks, we can't. It's some stuff we can't do after that. Like, that's like a finishing move. Like, I don't understand. If it's that far up, you should have sucked it out. Shit. I'm sorry. Apologize. Why is there so many dudes that's into this like booty licking thing? I'm you know what? I have sensitive skin.
Can we stick to the topic?
Yes.
You're going to the actual. Come on.
I got sensitive skin. I can't be out here with cheeks touching cheeks and shit.
All day we've been sticking to the topic. I want to stick to the topic. You're going to get muted.
You don't want me to finger you.
Okay, you get muted right now. Listen, I want this shit to be serious. Quit bullshitting. You welcome back to the show, but we got a great fucking show going on, and I don't want to get twisted off and niggas and we get off track because I know how we do on our show. Once we get off track, we be fucked up. So let's stay on track, please. That's all I'm asking. Like, you know, like that's all I'm really asking. Look, you see the comments, they're going to wow and like, you know, let's stick to the topic. I understand it's funny and shit. But I want motherfuckers to get off the air tonight and really think about if they fucking with somebody that they don't need to be fucking with, this show needs to be something to them. I don't want this to be a fucking joke to nobody because somebody is going to be listening to this show or could be listening to this show right now in one of these fucked up situations. And the only motherfuckers that's talking to them and making or going to tell them some real shit is us. So I want this to be one of them shows. Like for real. Because guess what? I have been in, I think all of us, because I didn't listen to all of our stories, we've all been in a fucked up situation. We done all fucked with somebody on some level to where drama came in. I know some of us on this line have dealt with physical situations. And both situations that I done played and all the situations that we, except for the last one, have been about stupid physical shit. But where could it have been avoided? Where could it have been avoided? Somebody out here right now could be listening to this show and 10 seconds from getting their ass whooped or 15 minutes ago got their ass whooped. Or they dealing with somebody that's out there cheating, that's going to drive them to do something silly. Somebody might be listening to this show on the verge of doing something stupid themselves. So I want y'all to really think about what the fuck we going with this shit. Because I want to think about somebody else's shit as opposed to having a good time. Listen, I mean this shit across the board, and I said this on all the shows. I've had enough good times on this motherfucking show. Motherfuckers be up too late for us just to be laughing. We need to be hitting home to somebody. If it's just one motherfucker, I don't give a fuck if one person on this show listening to this show gets it. That's my goal. And we can have 1,000 motherfuckers watching, but if one motherfucker gets it, if it saves somebody from getting killed or saves somebody from getting fucked up or saves somebody from getting their car fucked up where they can't go to work in the morning, if it causes you to think about the moves that you're making, if you are that nigga that's making these dumbass decisions and fucking with a motherfucker that will push them to the point of fucking you up, it's two sides to the coin. This shit is real. And at any given time, I know motherfuckers that in the past, I know friends, real fucking close friends, that it was like, I can't go to their crib because the relationship between them and a woman is so fucking hostile. They won't fucking leave. Neither one, they get so used to that shit that I had to get away from them, from that type of shit, because guess what? The more you stay around insanity, the more it becomes normal to you. Come on, talk to me. Talk to me.
For women, I'll give you follow up what Rush says. If you know that you have the potential for violence, you might need to seek therapy. Seek some anger management classes. Most of the time, they free. You can call your health providers. Some people don't know that these behaviors are not acceptable because they're surrounded by these behaviors. Rush hit on something earlier in the show, and he's talking about these kids are seeing this happen, right? And two things usually happen when you see a lot of violence. Either you become very violent or you become very opposed to violence. Whether you have the fight or flight response depends on how your brain process what you saw, right? I grew up where my aunties fought they dudes. They still stayed with them because they were like, you're going to stay with me no matter what. even if it wasn't a healthy relationship, right? I saw this behavior adapted and learned, and when they had kids, that behavior continued because it became a normal thing for them. But I also have cousins that have not seen violence in their household, and when violence got presented to them, the reaction was adverse. Do you understand what I'm saying? If my mom has 4 of my biological sisters, right? All of us respond very differently, even though we all grew up in the same household, to violence. I have 0 tolerance for violence. You can't raise your voice to me without expecting to get the shit slapped out of you. My sister, she's watching the show right now. She's not going to tolerate violence. She will stand and fight, right? But I had a sister that was under me. She's no longer with us. She was opposed to violence, and when she encountered it, she ran away from it. She didn't stand her ground. She didn't fight. She didn't feel like she had to defend herself. I feel like if I don't fight you back, that I'm not protecting what's around me. I've always been surrounded by children, even before I had my own children. The people that I protect and the people that I fight for are my siblings, my cousins, my aunties, like that. Because socially, women are supposed to be these weak things that you pick apart, objectify, try to harm, right? But the women that I was around did not go for that. Like you couldn't do a violent engagement with them and not expect them to fight back. As an adult, I'm almost 40. I've never had a man put his hands on me. I've never had the instance where I was scared of my spouse. I never had the instance where I was afraid to call somebody if something was wrong. I never felt like somebody could hurt me. Not because I'm big, not because I'm strong, not because I'm willing to fight. I've just never encountered it personally. But have I seen my sisters, my brother, my family, even my mother? When I was young, my mother's first husband, he was always calm with us, but he was always violent with her. It was weird to see it because I didn't understand what she was doing wrong, to the point where as a kid, since he's always nice to us, I couldn't understand what my mother was doing to perpetuate it. I victimized her. Like I made her husband the victim in my mind as a kid, because I was like, well, you must be doing something to trigger this behavior in him, right? This is a kid. Me as a kid, I was like 8 or 9 years old. But then a shift changed where I'm seeing my mom is not the trigger to this dude's problem. He just got a problem. And he's drinking, and he had severe alcoholism. And when he would drink, he would forget himself and he would get violent. And then because as I was growing up, I started looking more like my mom. He snapped out on me one day, but he snapped on the wrong kid because I snapped back. So like I said, these learned nasty behaviors, because violence is a learned behavior. If anybody in here, besides from me, took psychology courses, you know violence is a learned behavior. It's something that you see or something that happens to you or something that you're around that you pick up, right? If this is what this is, a learned behavior, it's not something that's easily unlearned, but it is something that we can be more aware of and try to push away from our kids. I do not argue with either one of my ex-spouses in front of my children. I do not argue with other adults in front of my children. Do I? I just don't do it because I don't want my kids to learn that behavior. I have very large preteen boys. They look like grown men, but they 13, 14. I don't want them to feel like that's the only way that they need to communicate. And it's crazy to me that it annoys some people that my sons can articulate how they feel and say what you did to upset them and that they don't want to tolerate it. And they give ultimatums to even adults because they like, hey, I'm not doing this. I'm not going for this, right? I wasn't poking fun at domestic violence. I was making light of the booty thing. But domestic violence is a real thing. Like, I've had 3 of my friends pass away from being beaten, being hit, being around a person who can't, who will self-medicate, but the medication is toxic to them and they fire off. I don't want any woman that's watching this or listening to this to think that it's your fault that you're getting hit. It's your fault that he's mistreating you, abusing you,
or any man,
or any man either. And men get hit too. But as a man, don't be feeling like you should accept it because that's a woman. Nobody should be putting their hands on anybody. We're not making this a domestic violence thing against men versus women. It happens to both genders equally. You understand what I'm saying? So
check
just
this out.
be able to say somebody's bothering you and separate yourself from it.
Hold on 1 second. We got some more clips to get to. Come on. Yes, some comments.
I agree with you, No. And I agree with my sister Stacy too. Somebody has to take a stand and declare that it stops here with me. I agree with that too.
All right, check it out. We're about to get into our next clip. Let me know what y'all think about this one. Yeah, I'm doing all right with my clips. Hello. All right, now. This one is a little lengthy, so y'all stick with me. It's about 9 minutes long. But we're going to really talk about this afterwards. We're switching gears just a little bit. Mr. Kevin Samuels.
Can you submit to a man? Can you play the background?
When you say play the background, what do you mean play the background?
Play your natural role.
A natural role of being a wife?
Yes, it's background.
I don't think a natural role as a wife is just a background.
Show me where in the world the natural wife is in front.
She's not in front, but she's beside.
No, she's not.
Why she's not, Kevin?
Are you out of your French toast mind?
Don't do that now, Kevin. I'm just giving you my opinion.
Okay, well, when a burglar comes, are you standing side, when somebody's coming to break in the house, are you side by side beside your husband? Or are you standing behind him because he's going to have to take the bullet?
To be honest, I'm standing beside my husband.
Then you out of place.
Why am I out of place?
Oh my God.
Am I too masculine for it?
Oh my God. Hell yeah. Your place, oh my God, hold on. Why are you out of place? I'm telling you why you're out of place. Your place is behind your husband, guarding the children.
Okay. So I'm really on here. Okay.
So when your mother, how about your grandmother?
Okay.
Hold on, Hannah. Your grandmother, was she married?
That's another thing, Mr. Kevin.
Hold on, Hannah. Let me come back to you. Hannah. Was your grandmother married?
Yes, my grandmother was, but that's the thing with I'm trying to explain to you. We in 2 different generations right now. The generation that you're trying to explain to us, my generation is not living like that no more.
Yeah, and that's why you're dying by yourself.
But who says there isn't a man that's willing to take me for him to me for me?
1 in 4 of you will marry. I mean, look, man, the stats don't work for your argument. Prior to 1965, black people were married at a rate of 80%. You go out to any cemetery, you'll see a black man buried next to a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
But you go after 1990, and you'll start seeing black women buried around her children.
Why is that?
Because y'all are unruly, unsubmissive, and out of line.
Well,
Go to a restaurant on Friday or Saturday night, and you'll see a mama. You may see her with her mother and a bunch of kids. There will be no husband.
Well, how many women at that point in time had degrees and education? Everybody.
What the fuck does your degree mean?
Why doesn't it mean anything?
What is your degree in?
But why doesn't it mean?
What is it? What's the degree in?
That's not the question.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. No, I'll tell you. No, because almost 90% of the degrees women get are in humanities.
That's not the question, though.
Yes, it is.
That's not it.
You don't seem to understand. A fucking communications degree is pointless.
How is it pointless? And who says my education and my degree is incomplete?
Okay, if you want to play the game with me, I'll play it with you. You want to bring up degrees, you're going to have to be specific. What percentage of women get degrees that are in science, engineering, technology, or math? Infrastructure.
I don't think that matters.
That's your problem. You don't understand what's important.
What's important then, Mr. Samuels?
Who is that?
What's important, Mr. Samuels?
That y'all are completely out of line. That you don't even understand how the world works. You're running on override. Men build the world that you live in.
Oh, okay.
Who built that house or apartment you live in? Was it a crew of women? Who designed the metal work? Who put in the floor, the plumbing, the electrical system, the heating? Who put that in? The car you drive, was that built by a crew of women?
So women are not capable of doing none of those things. None.
You're not good at it. And we're given a choice. Excuse me, because we're given a choice, because women are free today, right? And you're educated, right? Then why don't we see 51% of construction workers as women? Why don't we see 51% of the engineers as women? Why don't we see 51% of the plumbers, electricians, military, train operators, heavy, dangerous work as women? Because when given an opportunity, women segregate themselves into more comfortable positions. Men do the dangerous work to build society.
Okay.
That's your place.
That's my place. I should follow my husband. I should follow the man. That's his place. We're not equal. He's stronger than me.
He is. No, he is. Go look at Bear Grylls Island season 2. And they dropped a bunch of men and a bunch of women on a deserted island and gave them some basic tools. And they had to survive for 6 weeks. By the end of day 1, the women had gotten lost and were fractured. By the end of day 1, men got from one side of the island and started building out a shelter. By the end of 6 weeks, the men had made the internet. By the end of 6 weeks, women almost would have died 4 times.
I feel like growing up, seeing my grandfather, seeing my daddy pay all the bills, do everything in their power to make sure home is kept well, they still went out and did bullshit over their wives. Now,
excuse me. Hold on. I'm stopping right here.
But I'm grown now.
But ain't your business. Excuse me. Stop. Breathe. No. I will shut this shit down. I will shut this shit down. I'll shut this shit down and finish. It's not your place. You tell the worst part of everything. But what do you ever? I never hear you women give black men credit for anything. It's always talk about the waiting to exhale and the color purple bullshit.
That's the bullshit right there, Miss Sam. Let me tell you something. I go to therapy, and me and my parents and my grandparents, the shit they go through might not have been my business, but I inhaled it. I saw that.
That's your problem. Okay. And how old are you?
It can be my fault.
How old are you? How old are you?
I'm 30.
Okay. Well, due respect, man. That the world doesn't owe you or me understanding. Because hold on. Because there are people in this world. I will shut this shit down. I won't. No. We don't do that. See, you talking about the traumas that your grandmother and mother, that ain't your business. Stay in the child's place.
I'm not a child anymore, Mr. Sam.
But that's the point. You're trying to. Okay. Do you have any children?
I do.
So your children need to come get in a relationship with you and no man, or should they stay in their mother flipping place? That's what I thought.
I don't want my kids to see me.
That's not what I asked.
The same thing.
That's not what I asked.
But this is what I'm asking.
That's not what I asked.
Can I talk? Can I say something?
But you didn't answer the question. Your children need to stay in the children's place.
Somebody said I was 48. Okay.
Stop. Your children need to stay in the children's place, because between you and that man is something that they don't know, they don't understand because they're too young. They shouldn't be trying to judge it through childlike eyes. How old is your oldest?
15.
How old is your youngest?
10.
10 years ago, your oldest still believed in Santa Claus. Children need to stay in children's places. And one of the problems we have in the black community is black women put their children in grown places, but they should not be. They let their children see and experience stuff they should not experience because the kids do what they naturally do. That's a problem of parenting. Your mama shouldn't have exposed you to it.
So okay, you're right. I can admit that. You are right.
Every other group, black people don't commit adultery and cheat at any exorbitantly higher rates than other people. We just use it as reasons. Bill Gates and Melinda Gates just came out saying, Bill Gates, the most richest man in America, right? When his wife come out saying, oh, wait, Bill been kicking with his ex-girlfriend all our marriage. Now, see, if there was black folks, Tyler Perry would have made a movie about it. Because we understand that this whole notion of man and woman, there's always an understanding between the man and a woman. And the man and the woman need to understand this, and the kids need to stay at the kids' place, eat at the kids' table, and not be involved in grown shit. Because I don't know men who just say, I'm gonna wait till the kids come home and then I'm gonna whoop your ass in front of the kids. That ain't how men move. I don't know men who wait till the kids come and I'm coming scream and holler at you. That's not how men do. And at 30 years old, man, whatever happened to your mother and your grandmother, as traumatic as it is, due respect, man, you got to process that, moving on, and it cannot be an excuse because your children can say the same thing.
My thing is, and this is just coming from my experience with dating, you are telling women to stay in their place, to be submissive, to be soft, to stand behind their husbands, but they don't reciprocate the same thing. We can do all that, and we still get shitted on.
That's bullshit.
Please tell me how is that bullshit?
It's bullshit because okay, hold on, no. What you focus on, you see. The black community, black men, when surveyed, asked about committed relationships, what percentage of black men cheat at? Cheated at 28% rate. What rate do black women cheat at?
I don't know what's the number.
24. And there are 2 million more of us. Every time a black man is cheating with somebody, he's cheating with somebody. It's usually with a woman, married or in a relationship. How many black women have multiple children by multiple men? That's polygamy. That's a poly relationship. See, the way you tell the situation is like a woman does the best thing and a man gives her ass kids. A 50+% divorce rate in the country, and it's almost close to 60% of the black community. And 80 to 90% of the relationships, black women are leaving. You're leaving. You're home wrecking. You're breaking up the relationships. Men stay. Y'all leave.
Why do you think women are leaving?
Because you've been sold a Disney fantasy that you should be happy. Instead of understanding that you have duty, honor, respect, and you chose to be in a relationship, especially when you decided to make a baby with somebody, you need to stay for more than just yourself. French toast your happiness.
So I can settle.
No, you should. Are you a Christian?
I'm not.
Well, have you been married?
No, I haven't.
You plan on getting married?
I would like to.
What vows do you plan on taking?
I don't want to settle for nothing less.
What vows do you plan on taking?
I plan on.
For better, for worse, sickness and health, the rich or poor, the death do us part. Then he said shit about happiness.
So I'm supposed to be miserable.
No, you're supposed to be an adult.
Okay.
Bro, hang up on it. He's trash.
I'm listening.
Who is this? Is that Big Shirley?
He said that Big Shirley. You know he thought shit. That's him.
I mean, I'm trash. See, that's what I'm saying. This woman, this so-called woman, supposed woman, can say I'm trash. What if I said that's wrong, Big Shirley? Bring the facts, the data, the statistics. Don't bring your trash ass attitude and take your bonnet off if you're gonna get on here.
Bitch, I don't worry about handling it. Okay.
Yeah, that's why. And that's what I mean. That's all you gotta do. That comes out to bitches and everything else. That's why your fat ass gonna die by yourself. Kick rocks. You can't make this shit up. There is no negotiating with them. Leave. Nothing you do is going to be women single. You can hear the cholesterol in her voice.
Okay. I'm going to start off with a very controversial question. And I just want to hear yes or no before we get. I'm going to give the floor over to each and every last one of you. But please just answer yes or no first off. Was there any point of anything that he said that you agreed with, along with disagreeing? Because I know that y'all disagree with. I can see it on y'all faces. I see y'all faces, while the clip is playing. So I saw y'all faces. But was there anything that he said at all that you could either agree with or compromise with in reasoning? Let me start with Shantae. Then I want to go Mama Yoni. And then we're going to go Mr. Crush. Let's go.
Yes, there was one thing he said that I agreed with.
Okay.
Yes, there was something that I agreed with.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Crush. Mr. Crush, yes or no?
No.
Okay. Now I'm coming again. Now, Shantae, what was the one thing that you agreed with?
The one thing he said had to do with what you expose kids to and what you don't. And that's the only thing that I agreed with.
Okay. Talk to me, Mama Young.
So I guess I have to agree with two things that he said. I'm with Shantae on that. The other thing that I agreed with him on was the scenario. Close your eyes, girl. The scenario about if somebody's breaking in the house and your husband is standing there, why are you standing next to him? Why are you not in your position guarding the children? Because the children are ultimately important to me. I'm not gonna do that. So those are the two things that I can agree with.
Okay. Now, I'm just gonna say this. I'm like Shantae and Mama Young. I listened to it. There were certain things that I agreed with, and then there were certain things I was like, that don't make sense. Because when he talked about the marriage thing, I'm like, well, when you talk marriage, if you know the Bible, if you're not falsified by what they teach you about biblical scriptures, there are reasonings for divorce. There are reasonings for walking away. There are, backed by scripture. Now, that's one side I looked at. The other side I looked at was just his disdain. Like, I believe Kevin Samuels is a very intelligent man, but I believe he is like most people. I won't say men or women, but but it comes out more in men. He has been hurt by a woman. And in the process of him being hurt by a woman, he is steady lashing out because he has not dealt with that emotion. He has not dealt with whatever pain that was that came along with whatever situation that he was in. I'm gonna leave it right there. I have a lot more to say about that, but I got a couple more clips, and I know I'm looking at the time. But one thing I wanted to. I'm glad that you peeped that Mama Yoni tapped into. I'm tying all this stuff how each motherfucker is adding the scenario of children. Different scenarios about what type of person that you should be with if you are, especially if you have kids already. If you don't have kids, you still got to learn what you're gonna do and what you're not gonna accept. But it's a different conversation. But let's go ahead. Let's go since Yoni. Mrs. Crush has been quiet the most because she's the one that said no. I'm gonna let her go first. Then I'm gonna go Mama Yoni, and then we're gonna go Shantae. Give me your thoughts about the clip that we just watched.
I feel like marriage is supposed to be a partnership and not supposed to be a union based on some bullshit ass codependency. Because you can make better decisions when you're a partner. When both of you are intelligent and reasonable adults, you can come together to do amazing things. But I'm not your fucking toy or some little thing that you like. I don't. In both of my marriages, there has been an instance where I had to stand in front of and protect my black husband. I'm gonna say that again. For these people that are like in agreement with, oh, if somebody breaks into the house and the burglar is gonna get me, and I gotta stand behind my man. Black women are the protectors of black men. We are supposed to protect each other. And if we are going to survive, and if our children are going to survive, that example has to be set. It's not just you as a man's responsibility to protect all of us. Who the fuck has your back? Not behind you, your back. Now,
Let me ask you a question.
Yep, go for it.
Have y'all ever heard about like walking alongside the street, and if you're walking, the man is supposed to stand on the outside, or something comes that he is to take the blunt and not the woman? Have y'all ever heard of that? That scenario? Have you ever heard of that theory?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm one of those people, and I'll be one. Listen, when I do it, I'll literally say, like, listen, I'm supposed to stand on this side of the street in case a car come fuck me up, just so your ass could be all right. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I was raised on. So, that's what to that degree, that's where I can understand that mentality of if somebody comes into the crib, baby, you get the fuck out of here. You take care of the kids. Get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna try to, take care of what the fuck is going on in here. You make sure the kids is all right. I do understand that logic. If my kids are if my wife and my kids are in a harmful situation, I wouldn't. Even if my wife did have the mentality of, yo, I'm coming out here with you, my mentality would be, babe, get the fucking kids, get to a room, try to get to the kids. Jesus Christ. But like, you got to think about that. When you have kids, do they become the ones that you protect over all? And in a relationship, should one person be more of a protector? Because guess what? In most senses, we've all been raised that a man should be a protector. I understand the element of being a supportive woman, but do you want a fucking simp ass nigga that if some shit happens, he like, you come on, just you walk out here with me to make sure everything all right? Or do you want somebody that's gonna be like, yo, you get safe and let me go see what the fuck happens, and if something happens to me, God forbid, as long as you are right and the kids are right, because I might just create a scene and I might get hurt where it gets that nigga away from you. You feel what I'm saying? You safe, my kids are safe. Should I just let a nigga just come in and take all of y'all out? Should that be my thought process? Come on, talk to me, Crush.
Who you just said that my role was important as a woman to take care of and maintain the children, and that was his major argument too. That as a woman, my job and my place is to maintain, educate, raise, and sustain the children. But if you fail, I need to finish the sentence so that you can.
Hold on, listen. I don't want to go to raise and maintain and all this other shit. I'm talking about one particular scenario. Somebody comes into the house and it's a dangerous situation. That
But
somebody
is this
broke into the house.
scenario the entire relationship? Is this scenario of you protecting me in this particular hypothetical the entire relationship? So because you can protect me from a fucking burglar, I'm supposed to be some weak bitch in behind you, shattering and shivering in the corners because that is my place. But that's what he said, though.
No. Listen. I'm just asking that they agree with the point.
No,
I'm not getting so tied up into him personally because I said I agreed and disagreed with him. You know what I mean? He's not here for us to argue with him. We talking to each other.
Damn agree.
Okay, that's what I wanted to get. Shantae, talk to me.
Obviously, I have issues with that brother. I've always had issues with that brother, for various reasons. I will say this because a lot of it does depend on how you were brought up and the examples that you saw, in your home. I grew up, my parents were together for 20 years. Excuse me. My dad was a very strong man. My dad was automatically the protector. He made me walk on the inside of the sidewalk. He made sure he taught me that, a young man wants to take you out, he should open up your car door. He should open up the door. Like that was the way I was raised. At the same time, my daddy also took me to shoot. He taught me how to load a 45 and a rifle. He taught me about self-defense. He taught me if I'm coming out late from work, how I should hold my car keys in case I need to stab somebody trying to come at me. He still to this day, I got a weighted baton in my truck because he knows that I'm out late and he wants me to protect myself. So it's not about, it has to be a balance. At the end of the day, it has to be a balance. If I'm married and it's a scenario where somebody has invaded our space and it's a safety issue, me personally, I'm probably going to automatically go to my kid. I'm going to tell her to hide. That's an automatic thing. If I can get her to a safe space, don't be surprised if I run back up and say, okay, what we about to do to this mofo that's trying to invade our happiness. I have the right to do that. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to put my kids first. I'll make sure the baby was all right. But now I do come and I got your back. But I'm like, okay, what you want me to do? You want me to get the bat? You want me to what you want me to do while you getting this whoever that's trying to, in that particular scenario, that's trying to invade our happiness? I think that this brother comes from a viewpoint that is very dangerous. And that viewpoint is that we are also, as women in the relationship, we are also these very fragile, kind of childlike creatures that don't have the capacity to make critical decisions in those particular types of situations. And that's just my opinion on it. And so I guess I would challenge him to say, but brother, if I had the wherewithal to go protect the kids, I must have some kind of brain power. If I had the wherewithal to go say, let me make sure the kids are right, I must have some kind of critical thinking skill. But if you let him tell it, we have to be told that that's what we're supposed to do. And that's a problem for me. That's a major problem for me.
Well, this is what I think. I don't think that he was saying, like, see, like, this is what I got from you. You gave two scenarios. You said, I would go check on the children, and then I would come out on my gangster shit. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm thinking I don't know, because I'm not Kevin Samuels. I don't have his mindset. But what I received the way he was saying it is, yo, if somebody comes in the crib, go check that while I go check that first. Like, that's the first priority. Now, what happens after that is a different scenario. You feel what I'm saying? But if somebody breaks into the house, it should be somebody's thought process to go check on the kids. And while somebody, if it's, you know what I'm saying? If somebody's going to check out what the problem is, somebody should be checking out on the kids if they hear or feel somebody is in the house. Because guess what? It may be more than one in the house. So you need to, like, there has to be a protection stage there. Because if you just run towards the what you hear, and both parents run out there, and it turns out bad for both of them, and somebody else that came in through another way and got to the kids, then everybody fucked.
Of course.
At least in some situations, in the probability of mama going to get the kids, dad going to do this. Hopefully dad wins, check shit, get everything straight. But if not, the kids can at least, mama and kids can at least try to get out the house, hide, do something to provide some protection. And then mama can, get up and run and do what she got to do. Come on, Mama Yoni.
I think that everybody is kind of, this scenario is throwing everybody off what the point is.
Okay.
This man is, you guys are getting wrapped up in the scenario, in this one scenario, when I think that his whole agenda is ass backwards. He's an asshat. Here's the problem. You're telling me on the one hand that because the girl he was talking to was in her 30s.
Yeah.
She was saying to him about, or talking to him about the things that went on with her mother and her grandmother. You would be an idiot if you do not look at your own family history to determine what you will and will not accept in your own life. You're telling her to stay in a child's place. She's clearly an adult. How is she to parent or get on with her life, raise her kids without the information that she's gotten from her mother and her grandmother? If you don't know, this is the problem that I keep talking about. If you don't know something, you don't know. You can't teach what you don't know. So what? She's 30, she's got kids, she hasn't gotten married yet. She doesn't have to. It's not her fault that society has changed from what we're used to. She shouldn't have to be married to have children if that's what she wants to do. You can't fault her for not doing it. Women, somebody in the comments, and I can't see because it's gone now. Somebody in the comments had a very good point. You cannot say that this is the way this should be. Women are strong for a number of reasons. Men leave. Women are not single necessarily by choice. Not all of them. They're not. You have to understand that, like Kurt said, women are the protectors of everything. We're the protector of life. We are the creators of life. Aside from God, we are the ones who bring life in. Y'all leave. Men leave. It cannot be expected of this generation coming up 40 years old to have the same type of wherewithal we did. My last husband cheated on me from the day we were married to probably the day he died. It didn't stop me from keeping my commitment. I said for better or for worse, through thick and thin. I said all of this shit. So when it got to the point where you got to get out of here, I'm still going to do what I need to do for my kids. I'm still going to do and raise them, and I don't talk badly about them. I never did that to my kids, no matter what me and their dad went through. I never told them their daddy wasn't shit. I let them grow up and figure that shit out on their own, didn't I? I didn't have to tell you your daddy wasn't shit. You figured that shit out on your own. He has a very dangerous mindset, and for men who don't have any guidance and any sense of self, he could be damaging a lot of our future generations. A lot of our future generations.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna have the women.
But you know what I find funny?
Go ahead.
You know what I find funny about this show? Men don't call this show. It's all women.
Because women
like,
have a compulsion to educate and change, and they think that
Yeah,
if they
to
talk gently to them or give an
Can
example, they can fix
I
it.
finish? Can I finish? Jesus Christ. The crazy part is about most of the people that call his show are women. And he like has a reputation. Like, 'cause think about how y'all talking about him already, y'all, because this ain't the first time we've seen him.
Right.
People call him with a disagreeing attitude.
Mm-hmm.
He hangs up on them, say fuck him and all kind of stupid shit, call him stupid and all this other shit. But women call in every fucking week. So that means that they're tuning in every fucking week to hear. Like, guess what? This is my thought process, and it just may be me. We have a tendency, we like sponges. The mind is like a sponge.
Yes.
The more you intake bullshit, the more it actually becomes what the fuck you think. It alters what the fuck you think.
It can.
If you think about it, like we talk, tonight is a light show. We talk about sex on this show. The more you tap into like other shit, the less regular shit pays. You got to even that shit out.
And I don't follow his show because I know everything he says pretty much I'm going to disagree with as a woman. So why would I put myself in a headspace to be pissed off and angry about some bullshit? Like, I don't follow him. I don't support. I listened to him one time and I said, you know what? That's a wrap. That's a wrap. I don't need to be in that space.
His show is growing more and more every day. And I don't agree with it, but I'm not gonna knock him anyway, because guess what? Somebody can be listening to us and not agree with us.
I'm gonna say this. It's a lot of pick me culture that's been happening in the last couple of years. This pick me shit.
Yeah.
Like, pick me. I want to be what this person says I should be in order to be of value, because I don't have any self-worth. I don't listen to his show. The only time I ever get to see, the only reason I know about this person is because people.
Still there? Okay, we lost her.
Okay, I want to read this comment real fast. Stacy says, I understand playing your role as a woman, but why do men get a pass for their lack of control? Black women are expected to be strong and endure hell. Why should I have to live in hell to keep my family together? Question mark.
Put that on.
That's because most niggas are broken already. Like we already broken, so we don't even understand the concept.
That's why his mindset is so dangerous. That's why his mindset is dangerous.
It is. So we understand that you're broken, but then that goes back to what we talked about earlier. If you already know you're broken and you're not doing anything to fix it,
but he doesn't know. He doesn't know.
Break somebody else.
He doesn't know. See, this is a difference.
Oh no, I'm not talking about him. We're talking about him.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Stacy's comment about black men having the lack of control.
Okay,
if you are already broken, why come and try to break me too? If You know you broke it. Why are you trying to get with the good bitch?
But in the same
bitch,
okay, this is the same response though. Whether it be Kevin Samuels or anybody else, if you don't know it and that is your belief, like if you think about it, when you come on TV and you see a KKK rally, they believe what they believe.
Absolutely.
So guess what? Your rationality does not make sense to them.
Yeah.
So again, like when we started the show, it's about where's my mindset matching up with what I'm linking up with and who I'm having sex with and who I'm having babies with and who I'm going, and then I end up going through all this bullshit with later on down the line. Because I could have avoided all that shit if I'm done. Hey, I'm getting to our last clip. This the one I sent y'all. So I'm gonna let y'all get into it. Here we go. Oh my god, this was wow.
Mom, are you coming?
I'm coming. I'm about to get my stuff. I'm Carla. I'm 44, and this is my daughter.
I'm Rakia. I'm 26 years old, and we live in Jacksonville, Alabama.
Do you have lotion?
I don't have any lotion. Bring some with you. My mother is the most important person in the world to me. I can lean on her. I can depend on her for anything, and I appreciate that. Like, I really do. Don't cry.
Thank you.
No. We do everything together.
Yeah.
I mean, everything.
Watch a movie together, cook together.
Twerk.
Go crazy. Show up. She's the first person I see when I wake up and the person I see when I lay down.
I couldn't imagine my life without my mom being in it. It would ruin me. I wouldn't know what to do, how to function. I would lose a part of myself, and I don't even want to imagine that.
Right. I've had people say that we're too close. Point blank. And I was like, what?
I don't see why they feel like our relationship is like so bizarre or weird. Okay, you got to spread it open a little bit. Yeah. This side is going down, but I can't tell. I probably should have did it before I put it on there. My mother and I have been waxing each other for quite some time now.
Oh my God. This time, let me know when you're about to rip it.
Okay, count.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh, that was a good one.
Hurt. Goodness gracious.
Those are some coarse ones.
Gee. It shocks people if we share the things that we do. I showed her my first sex tape about 2 years ago.
I showed her my first sex tape maybe a year ago. I was like, hey, I want to spice things up. I bought this outfit, you know. What kind of positions do you think I should do, or what do you think we should do? And she was just like, oh, girl, prop your leg up in this angle. Maybe your back should have been a little bit more arched in this position.
Have your significant others known that you showed the video to your mom?
Yes, I had one significant other in the past that knew that I shared the video with my mom, and he was like, you guys are sick. Lotion. Oh.
Really cute.
It's smooth.
Girl, that's a big
You're
butt.
smooth like a baby again.
Yeah, thank you. I'm proud that I created her. I mean, that's just what it comes down to. It makes me feel wonderful to love on her. She's here, I'm here. You have to live every day like it's your last, and that's what I'm gonna do with my daughter.
Okay. You ready to talk about this?
Are you ready?
No, because this is the thing. I knew this was gonna be interesting. Because I know who on the show. So I'm gonna start this off with Mama Young. Let's go. Can Crush show you a video of her, a nigga fucking and she fucking a nigga?
No,
Can
no,
you hit her up
no.
showing her video you sucking a nigga off? This is what we get to. That's what it is. Like if you think about what a sex tape is.
I know.
I made a couple.
Yeah. So I will tell you this. I cannot even imagine myself seeing a video of my daughter, my darling daughter, my baby, in any type of sex act. The stork brought all my grandchildren. I can't even imagine. I don't want to think about it. I'm going to say this. I had a sex tape made very early on. That was when we had VHS tapes.
I remember that. I had one too. Yeah.
It's horrible. The VHS tape. First, the tape was left in the VCR that somebody borrowed. I thought it was gone. I went to go see the girl, which was my husband's baby mama, and her husband was like, "I know you from somewhere." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm John's wife." I said, "No, you've been on TV or something. I know you." Like, we don't know each other like that. He was like, no. He goes down and gets the tape, puts the tape in, plays the tape. Do right there. I'm like, give me the tape back. We get the tape. My parents want to borrow the VCR and videos because they got the kids. The tape gets to my parents' house. Now, if I put in a tape and I'm like, that now I'm gonna take that out. My parents watched the tape and actually had criticism about that. I'm like, you watched the tape? Yeah, next time you should have like, give me the damn tape. But I can't wax her. I couldn't do that. But yeah, tapes are very bad. Phones, all that. No more videos.
All right, Crush, you and Mama normally disagree about shit. I want to know if this one is something that y'all, is this a difference in life? Can Mama Yoni look at your Yoni?
No. Fuck no. No. I'm gonna just say this, like, even though I'm with the shits and I'm on my BDSM thing and that's what I do, anybody who's ever seen me in a play space or play knows that I'm always dressed just like this. Yep. I'm always covered up. If you get to see some thighs, it's because you paid a very high price to see me in something leather or small or tiny. And even then, I'm still covered up. Even if I get in my feelings sometimes and take nude photos, I'm like PG-13 with my shit. You don't get to see my face, my titties, and my crotch in the same shot. Do you understand it? Like, I'm damn near 6 feet tall. That's a feat. You have to get a full-on shot of that to happen. You're not gonna catch my pussy, my face, and my titties in that same fucking shot. And I got a short torso. So let's say that. No, my mother cannot wax my vagina or my ass crack. No, my mama cannot watch me give somebody a blowjob. Do I give blowjobs? I'm exceptional. I have zero gag reflex, and my throat is like velvet. But my mama will never know because she'll never see it. Do you understand it?
Just heard it, though.
You can hear it, and anybody who's listening who pulled from my stream, who's experienced it, will tell you it is a one-on-one person that it happens to. It is not. I don't video record me licking nuts, sucking balls, sucking a dick. You can't. You don't even know. Like I won't even play with a fucking dildo on as a video. That's me. If you're a more bolder woman, great. If you want to see a picture of my vagina, my Cash App is hashtag Bionic Mentor.
Stop. Okay, come on, Shantae. Come on, Shantae. Come on, we're going left again. Shantae,
listen. I actually watched that show. And there was some other mothers that was doing some off the wall stuff as well. Look, coming from a person who I am extremely close to my mother, I always have been. As we have gotten older, as I reached adulthood, when I became a married woman, right, there were things that we would talk about, on that level as I kind of came through different stages in my life. But it was still on a mother-daughter level. We may talk, we'll talk about some things, we'll laugh and joke. I just turned 42. My mother will be 68 this year. Yeah, we can talk about some stuff, but I would never Joe, first of all, my mother would never make that just because I know my mama. She'd be like, hell no, you ain't put me on no damn video. Second of all, even if, let's say I was married and I did. Let's say, I was trying to, put the flare back in my marriage, blah, blah, blah. We did the little thing, whatever. Why would I show that to my mother? Why?
My mama ain't even allowed
Even
to post
if
pictures
I
of me
ask you a
online without
question,
permission.
even if I ask you a question, why would I actually show, like, we gonna sit down together and watch this like we at the movies with some popcorn? I cannot mentally fathom showing that to my mama. I go to a professional to get waxed, not my mama. I don't understand that. Like, my mind just don't. No.
You know what? This is what I just thought about, and I think about shit before the show, but this is what I just thought about. I don't have a problem with voyeurism. I don't have a problem with videotaping. I don't have it's a lot of shit that I like to do. You feel what I'm saying? But the shit that I do is for me. If I take a picture or anything, it's for me.
There you go.
Because I would be lying if I said, if I was with a woman, that I wouldn't be like, yo, I'm busting the camera out. And, you're going to see me busting that motherfucker out. I'm going to tell you the pose. I'm going to tell you to bend over. I'm going to tell you to grip that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's me. However, can we keep it real? God damn, girl. Like, at the end of the day, because that's what I felt when I saw them niggas that you tied up. So, at the end of the day, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's
called a private life for a reason.
You feel what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I don't want none of my guys, none of my friends seeing anything that I do with anybody else. And if, let's just say, for instance, I decided to send anything to someone else that I was interested in, they would not see the other person at all. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. If I was to be like, yo, this what I'm into, are you into this? If I was having that conversation with a motherfucker, they would not see a fucking photo of anybody that they could identify and say
that part.
that is them. Because that part is crossing the line. That's the disrespectful part. Because let's just say that motherfucker walks into that motherfucker's job one day, or they get hired at that, and he's sitting there looking like, I didn't see you sucking dick before. And this is the crazy part. She showed her mother, right? And we all sitting up here talking about how crazy that is. Who the fuck else is she showing that to? And then, the killer part was when he asked her, well, does your boyfriend know that your mother's seen the video? How
should he do now?
Listen, if you listen to her response, she was like, well, one of them knows. I'm like, so your mama didn't seen you fucking a couple times. You feel what I'm saying?
Did you notice the age, though? Look at the age.
Wait a minute. Then the response was, he was upset. Like, yes, he's supposed to be upset.
That's none of her business.
How the fuck is he supposed to come around your mama if he see your mama again and he know that your mama didn't seen his cock and seen, him, and guess what? Maybe even in a vulnerable position. You might have been riding that dick and he might have been, you showing this to your mama.
That's none of her business.
And this man has to stand in front of your mother as your man. You have stripped him
of dignity,
of that manhood.
Yeah.
Man, what the fuck is going on with y'all?
It's too much. It's too much. But notice, she's 44 and her daughter's 26.
That's still a 22-year-old difference, but you shouldn't be fucking around with your kids.
I get that, but it's not as big a gap as you would normally see.
I got an 18-year-old that's grown, and she's gonna have a baby in the next 24, 48 hours. And she don't even want me at the hospital with her because she don't want me to accidentally see her crotch when she give birth to my grandson.
See?
Your coochie is a private thing. Like, why do you need to share it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's just too much.
Yo.
Kiana said she married with kids, and according to her mama, she's still a virgin. They do not talk about that.
Yeah, you're supposed to keep that shit. Like, listen, and this is the crazy part. I have been caught fucking by my mom. But I never was in a position where I was like, yo, mama, come check this out. You know, like, my mama then walked in with me being a mannish young boy. You know what I mean? Trying to get some pussy. And then, and guess what? When she walked in, bitch, you get the fuck out this house. Nigga, what the fuck is going on? You know, it wasn't no like, oh, okay, you go ahead and do your thing. And, you know, all right. Go ahead. Because guess what? We live in a day and age right now where we have kids that live with their parents that fuck in the house with their parents. Like, that blows my mind.
Let me tell you something.
I know my mom is looking at me like this because she knows that.
Let me tell you something.
I'm not gonna have sex where my mom is.
Let me tell you something. Me and my mother and I, when I split from my ex-husband, along with having to go through the whole divorce, at the same time, our landlord decided she was going to sell the house. So I had to hurry up and move. My mother uprooted where she was, and we went and decided to live together. Me, my mother, and my daughter have been sharing the same residence for the past 5 years. As a grown woman, both two grown women, this was the rule we established. There are no men allowed in this residence, period. Now you grown, you can go out and do what you do, but there are no men allowed in this residence. Not only am I not going to disrespect my mother, even though financially we're sharing the space, right? It's also the fact that I have a child here. I have a daughter. I have a teenage daughter here. You're not just about to stroll up in here and I'm going to do whatever. What kind of example does that set? That is not how we roll in my house.
You know how niggas get to that stage? Ooh, I'm about to say some shit. Niggas get to that stage because, ladies, please don't be mad at me about this, because remember this, what I'm about to say is a statistic, because a lot of men do not live with their kids. Do y'all agree with that? First off, it's the mama with the kids.
Yes.
So, mama, you got to quit being a fucking rat around your kids. You got to quit just fucking everybody around your kids. You got to quit letting everybody come in your house. You got to quit letting everybody do whatever the fuck they do. Because you set the precedent for that type of shit. Like, real talk. Listen, to this day, and my mother and father were married. I walked into the room at like 4 years old, 3 or 4 years old, and saw my dad fucking my mama. And it terrified me. I cried. Because listen, because I was so young, I didn't understand, sex. I'm just like, what is you doing to mama? Like, get off of her! Get off of her! Mama was making us do it. Mama was. That's why I opened the door in the first place. That's why I don't listen. I get a lot of criticism for this. But that's why I don't like to date. It's not that I have a problem with women that have kids. It's the fact that I already raised my kids. So I'm at a point where I want to be with a woman that can be with me. Mm. So if we decide to walk around the house butt naked all fucking day, we're not worried about the kids.
Then we doing this shit at your house and not my house. Don't come to my house with your dick.
No, but guess what I'm saying? I want to be in a situation where I don't have to worry about that if I'm at your house. So, you know what I mean? Because guess what? If that's the case, what I'm saying though, then guess what? That's a whole other situation, because now I got to worry about your availability to see you. You feel what I'm saying? Because I expect you to be a mother. I expect you to be a mother.
I don't have time, but I try to make time. That's where I'm at.
We're not talking about you. I'm talking about me. I'm talking about me. Me personally, I don't have the patience to deal with a mother with a young child, because I expect her to be a mother. Because guess what? I'd be talking about your ass if you wasn't. But what I need for me personally, I need a motherfucker that can come to me when I need them to come to me. I can go to them when I want to go to them. Because we got that freedom. I've lived through that stage of my life where I had to be a parent. I've lived through that. So I feel like I've earned my stripes. You feel what I'm saying? I don't want to have to go backwards and deal with baby mama drama like I dealt with when I was 20 and 25 and 30. Guess what? I'm 40 years old. If you got a kid now, I want to know that kid is out your house or at least about to get ready to leave your house. Or you got, you feel what I'm saying? Well, you don't have to be the mother that I expect you to be to a kid. Because I'm being selfish about what I want.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? That's what people fuck up. When you got to be a parent, then guess what? They ain't got time for you. And guess what? They have a right to feel that way because it's not their kid. They didn't make that baby. They don't have a reason at all to be a parent to your child unless they are going to the point where they want to wife you up and it's a serious relationship.
Very true.
Because that goes back to, when do you let a kid, if you get little kids, when do you let them when do you introduce them to the people that you fucking? Because do you even know you're in a serious relationship yet? You feel what I'm saying? So that is a process that you have to go through if you are dealing with a person that has younger children.
Okay, I don't want to miss the comments. Hold on. Big No says, but why is it that when we don't do things others do, we will determine there's something wrong with it, especially when we all do things that others wouldn't approve of. But at the end of the day, their bond is tight. Couldn't be me, but hey, to each his or her own. Yana said, I swear, I was so mad at my daddy for real. But I got my butt whipped by my mama, and she said, any door shut in this house, you knock and wait to be told you can come in. Don't hear a response, carry your ass on.
Yeah, I just walked into some shit like, because listen, that's what fucking you up. As you get older, you know about that moment. You know about that shit. When you was a little 3-4-year-old kid and you hear mama making that love motion sound, and guess what? They was doing it in the middle of it. It was one of them early morning things. It's like my it's a crazy thing. My dad was a pastor, a preacher. So it was an early morning Sunday. So I was up, getting ready for church and shit. And I hear, but he ain't doing nothing wrong. He's fucking his wife.
Right.
But the kid wasn't ready for that. The kid wasn't ready for that environment, for him to be fucking that, for my mama and my daddy to be fucking that close in proximity where I could hear it and walk in the door, because that's what I did as a three-year-old kid. I walked in rooms and shit. You think about what a kid does. Kid just, hey, what's up, mom? Oh shit! Ah! That's what it was. I walked in the room like, oh, brother. Ah, shit! I don't like velvet sheets to this day just because of that. Because I was like, you was fucking mama on that velvet sheet. You got ready to kill me. Well, listen, y'all. I appreciate y'all. We had a great show. Please share the show if we want to get all the views that we can get. We appreciate every comment. We appreciate every person that watched the show tonight. We hope that y'all tune in on Sunday for Real Talk. What's Love Got to Do with It? Also, we got our man show. The man show has been popping. That shit has been sort of interesting. So y'all tune into that. That's Sundays at 5 p.m. And then we come right back at 7 with Real Talk. What's Love Got to Do with It? All right, y'all. I'm about to roll me some weed and finish my drink. Y'all like a sober rest tonight? Yeah, it's a good thing. Peace.